To iTeam8 now, where the federal government is now offering help to pay for funerals for COVID victims.
The government payments could be worth thousands of dollars, but iTeam8 has found the first day of signups has overwhelmed the system. iTeam8's Richard Essex has the story.
FEMA will pay up to $9,000 for one funeral and up to $35,000 to families that have buried multiple people. The money is intended for families that had to pay for burial expenses out of their own pockets. Amy Sloan buried her father, Charlie, in April of last year. Mr. Sloan did have a modest life insurance policy to cover some of the expenses related to his passing. Amy, her sister, and mother had to cover a couple $1,000s of funeral expenses that were not covered by the policy.
Is my mom eligible to receive some of this money back? Because the wording is very vague.
When Charlie Sloan was admitted to the hospital last year, his family was told he had contracted the virus. Charlie Sloan's family got a call in the middle of the night that it was time to take him off life support.
The entire funeral was covered for the funeral home because back then funerals were so small that we technically didn't have to pay for a service because there weren't enough people there to have a service. So that part was reduced in price, luckily at the time for us. And then we chipped in for all the burial, the plot expenses at the cemetery, and his stone.
FEMA will cover the cost of the casket, mortuary services, transportation of the deceased, burial plot, and interment or cremation for COVID-related deaths after January 20th of last year. The death must have occurred in the United States or one of the U.S. territories. Andy Clayton, the executive director of the Indiana Funeral Directors Association, says there is no requirement for the deceased to be a U.S. citizen.
You don't have to be a citizen of the United States to be eligible for this. Right. If you were in this country on a work visa or potentially illegally and died of COVID and it's listed on your death certificate as a contributing factor.
You cannot apply for this assistance online. You have to call FEMA. And the number is 1-844-684-6333. FEMA is already warning that even though this program just got started, there are still plenty of people looking to scam you. No one will call you offering to sign you up. Again, there is not an online way to sign up for this program. You have to call FEMA. In Indianapolis, Richard Essex, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.